Developing news in the race for the White House and the major push by the Democrats for the Latino vote. Hillary Clinton is returning to Las Vegas to speak at a Latino conference later this month. This news comes after Clinton held a roundtable on immigration in the same city last month. Then there's one of her Democratic opponents, Martin O'Malley, also focusing on Latinos. O'Malley's first public event since announcing his candidacy was at the U.S. Hispanic Chamber of Commerce yesterday, where our next guest asked him point blank if he would tackle immigration reform within his first 100 days in office. Take a listen.
I would absolutely do everything in my power. I mean, we have to persuade Congress, but I would not give up. Look, there were many things. I would use my executive authority to protect public safety, but also guided by the truth that we should not be breaking up families.
Joining me now, the President and CEO of the United States Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, Javier Palomares. Javier, good to see you.
Good morning, Jose. How are you?
Good, thanks. Now, you spoke to O'Malley yesterday. How did he live up to your expectations?
You know, first of all, credit where credit is due. As you mentioned, this was his first public engagement after his announcement on Saturday. We talked about a variety of issues, from the economy to jobs, to government regulation, to race relations, and of course immigration. He lived up to the expectation.
Javier, one of the things that I appreciate about your line of questioning to him was, well, would you, give us a guarantee that if you were elected president, you would have some form of immigration reform within your first 100 days? And that question is a question that a lot of politicians don't like to answer, because President Obama, when he was a candidate the first time, said yes, he would. And that's one of the things that keeps coming back at him. How did he answer that specifically?
Well, there was three things that really stood out in my mind in regards to his response. One, he would deal with it within the first 100 days in office. Secondly, he promised to look at it beyond the social and civil rights aspects of this. He promised to look at it from an economic perspective. And an organization that represents 3.2 million Hispanic-owned firms in this country that collectively contribute over $486 billion to the American economy. This is an issue that's important to us. But again, we look at it from an economic perspective and the commercial interests of this nation. He committed to looking at it from that perspective as well. And then again, he also committed to, if necessary, using executive authority and executive action to get things done.
And Javier, one of the things that your organization does so well is highlight the fact that Hispanics are a large group. It's the largest minority in the country, and it's not just about immigration. There are so many other issues of importance to the Latino community, as well as to the general community at large. What are some of the things that you think all candidates need to know about the Latino community and how to reach that Latino community?
That's a great question, Jose, and thank you. You're absolutely right. Our community is not monolithic. We worry about the things that all Americans worry about: jobs, the economy, national security, foreign relations. And so our questions are around all of those issues. There was a total of 10 questions from me to him. He addressed them all straight on. We agreed on some of his questions and his responses, and in others, frankly, we didn't agree. But he was forthright about it. I got the sense that this man is he's not necessarily a politician. He is a public servant. And he was very deliberate and very thoughtful in his responses. In contrast to our conversation with Senator Cruz, O'Malley didn't spend any time contrasting himself or taking on the administration or the president. He talked about his experiences and what he has learned with his track record, and talked about how he would use those learnings and those experiences to lead the nation, and how he would apply what he's learned over a broad, history of being a public servant and executive experience.
Javier Palomares, it's always a pleasure to see you. Thanks for being with me.
Thank you, my friend. Have a great day.